keep going. I'm gonna hang the bathroom door. That is gonna look so good. Welcome to my hall of doors. I have been wanting to change these interior doors since, honestly, the first showing of this house. Entering the hallway, the first door you see is this one to the bathroom. We've got linen closet here. Office door, which is at least hung and fits perfectly. We just have to recut the door frame to best fit the new lock set. And then on this side, a little mini sneak peek at the guest bedroom space. I brought the door in and I think it fits the frame. We just need to try hanging it. And then our primary, which is the one I'm probably the most looking forward to changing up. As you can see, the doors that are here have no personality at all. They're just flat front hollow core doors. And honestly, they don't block any sound. They're super creaky, the old hinges, the nickel hardware, just the whole thing all together is not the best. Since these doors have been here for so long, our home was built in the 50s, a lot of this has been painted over and over again. One of the hardest parts is opening some of the doors because they're catching on the door frame. That's been a problem for some time on multiple doors. The door to the primary bedroom, we put a little one of those over the door hooks on it for a mirror, so that's gonna have to come down. But honestly, it never really fit the door very well. And it just makes the door heavy so it doesn't stay ajar. It just does that a lot. There's also no door stops in this entire house, so the doors just tend to like bang into the walls and create little divots, which is a pain. Not that we're always like throwing our doors open by any means, but you know what I mean? Just like general movement in the house. Doors get bumped by dogs or like just open too quickly. It's good to have door stops so that you protect your walls and doors and hardware and all of it, and that's not an issue. So I'm hoping to resolve all these things. But before we can do any of it, we first have to make sure these doors fit. And if they don't, we'll have to make some adjustments. Welcome back to the wood shop. I pulled out this container that I organized with random hardware in it, and I know that the door hinges I bought a while back are in here. I also sourced some really cool antique glass doorknobs, so I'm interested to see if any of these will work. This one, honestly, I have no idea why I bought it. It's definitely a little bit lavender color, and the hardware is like rusty nickel. And it doesn't even have a match. But I think we were just like on a excited, we found some brass doorknobs kick. These parts are a little rusty, but honestly, I'm thinking we can probably work this out. Uh-oh, I may have just messed it up. Crap. Here's the test swab. Safety first, my friends. This is a lead test swab kit that I picked up on Amazon. I'll link it down below. The other thing that I picked up a while back was this very inexpensive mortise lock set. This one's from Defiant. I got it at a local hardware store. I'll link it down below. A mortise lock set is different than your typical doorknob set, lock set, handle set that you would see today in most homes built, I don't know, past the 40s. A tubular lock has a latch bolt and a deadbolt in two separate holes. In a mortise lock, both bolts are encased in a steel box that fits in one hole. Mortise refers to the pocket cut into the door where the lock is fitted. Therefore, a mortise lock set cannot be installed on just any door. They're great for replacing hardware on homes built before 1950. They can also be used on new or salvaged doors, but special preparations must be made to house the steel box that the lock is located in. And I thought that I would try this one out. It's a great price. Just maybe change out slowly as I find them in different antique shops the door handles into our salvaged glass doorknobs. And that's kind of a fun little project to work on over time. Basically right now we have 3 sets. Everything's nickel in the house. So I'm super excited. I got some new brass hinges. Sometimes it's the little details. If you are changing out your doorknobs into brass or black or something custom for your design style, please make sure that you also spring for the matching hinge hardware. Yes, it will be visible. You will see it all the time. And it's those little things that make a home look expensive and intentional and well curated instead of just sort of slapped together with a bad remodel. I prefer a spring doorstop. I just tuck it onto the baseboard with a quick little screw. This one will stop that door from number 1, making any sounds, and number 2, damaging any walls. So I had already figured out this door was going to work for the guest room. I am planning to paint this. It's not going to stay dark like this, but doesn't it look so good against the beadboard? I found one that's going to work perfectly for our primary room. We've got the office door already hung. One for the closet in the office, so they match. This little one for the linen closet, but it's definitely going to have to be trimmed. And that one right there is for the bathroom right there. I got the primary bedroom door hung and it's looking great. I used my multi-tool to cut out a little adjustment for this door hinge mortise, and I'm just going to use probably a little piece of extra wood, cut it to that little space, and a little wood glue in there, sand it. When we refinish and paint, it'll completely disappear. And now it fits. We'll have to make an adjustment for this side of the door though. The lock set's in there, but it doesn't quite match up with this size hole, and there's a larger piece that goes here. I got the bathroom door hung and super excited. I did not have to do any trimming of this little recessed area. However, I do need to do some trimming on the bottom of the door. It's bumping into the trim piece right there. I'm gonna have to use my circular saw, put a little pencil mark about the height and make sure there's enough of a gap between so it'll easily close. I am super excited to get rid of my most hated door in the house, the door to the linen closet. Now this one's arguably going to be the hardest because that I don't even know if it's going to work. We're going to have to use the circular saw to trim both sides of the door to make sure it fits because right now it's too wide. Time to get to work on that. Figured out where each door is going to go, which ones will need some adjustments. All right, first one taken out. Well, second one I guess. I'm okay for now, thank you.
How long does the present lie? The future now will soon be bright. Some things change, some get wrong.
If you find that your existing door frame, little holes for the hinges are in the not exactly right place, make sure to line it up with the top one first. That always seems to be working, at least so far for me. And then adjust the bottom one to match what's already here in your home. Unless you plan to replace the door casing, then have at it. Magazines are the perfect height to help you do this yourself because you really don't need that much of a boost. It's great if you have a partner, but you honestly don't need to have one to replace doors. Different height magazines, of course, style related. You can rip out a couple pages if you need to make it skinnier. I'm gonna hang the bathroom door and the closet in the office door. Then I'll move on to figuring out the lock sets and adjusting the door frames for that. When I refinish this door, I might just make a note to myself to sand the bottom just slightly because with this new area rug in here, it is moving over the top of the area rug, which is just like brushing the top. I could easily adjust that. I hate this door. It just closes terribly. It's so loud. I'm very excited. Don't forget to check out your drill's features. I love the magnet right here on ours. Most drills have these. I also like having a drill bit that's magnetic. That way, we're ready to go. It's becoming more and more clear it might be time to take down the trim. Since I'm using salvaged doors, I'm definitely gonna have to do a little bit of custom tweaking to each door, but let's see if we can get this linen closet one figured out. This door that I picked up salvaged is 23 inches wide, measuring inside the door frame exactly where the door is supposed to fit, 21 5/8 inches. I'm gonna want to shave off a little bit so that there's some breathing room between the door and the door casing, and that it closes properly. About 1/4 inch. I'm gonna wanna shave off about the same on each side so that it looks centered with the paneling. Since the guide for my circular saw only goes 50 inches, which clearly is only a little over halfway the height of the door, I'm just cutting as far as I can, and then I'm gonna flip it over and then do the reverse and meet in the middle. And if there's any weirdness, I'll just sand it down. That's my workaround for not yet having a table saw, but I'm definitely thinking more and more about how useful it will be to invest in one. All right, I think I straightened it out. It didn't cut super straight. I am still not sure if this is the most accurate cutting guide, but luckily it's easy to check, and I'm getting pretty good freehand with the circular saw now. I'm just hoping that little bit of sanding will do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side, and then we can haul it back in and see if it fits. Let's do this. I had to have Travis hold this one up for me, but I did get it hung after a little trial and error. Same deal with just cutting a little notch out for the hinge on the bottom, but the top one fit great. I'm a little concerned, honestly, just because the paint chipping on this one is pretty bad, and it's doing that flaking thing, which potentially could be lead. This just needs to be sanded and then it will fit, but I don't want to sand it until we do the lead testing. After a couple rounds of trimming the sides of this little linen closet door, it's still not quite fitting. That was the whole point, is the door. Where's the... I'm gonna quadruple check the measurements and just make any last adjustments, see if we can get it in there tonight.
Ran down my head, I let you go. Do it alone, won't let you.
Hey guys, I'm a little sleepy. I fit most of the doors, but there's definitely a few just adjustments we need to make today, and then hardware, and then we need to figure out the refinishing. So let me give you a quick update before we get to work. Guest bedroom door went in really easily, but when Travis and I were looking at it together, we noticed that there's a gap at the top. I'm gonna have to problem solve that one. Our bedroom seems to be pretty decent. I am just gonna try to put the hardware in and then do the testing on it for the refinishing. The bathroom door actually is pretty good. I just need to do a little bit of padding where the door hardware is in the door frame for it to close properly, because there's a little bit of a gap in the distance from the door frame. The linen closet is the biggest pain. I went through several rounds and it is not perfect. I still have a little bit of sanding to do on the outside edge just because I'm a perfectionist and I'm seeing some things I want to fix up. It's close. I cut the mortise for the hinges and they are like literally, it's just millimeters too tall. So now when I try to close the door, it's getting stuck on the door frames. I'm just going to shave off millimeters off the top of this. I made sure to try to cut it narrower than the previous door so that it's not rubbing on the inside of the frame here. And I have to kind of try to sneak in here. See if I can show you So again, that's the linen closet door that won't close. Office closet door. This one's the other pain. Lowest quality door that I bought, like for sure. It's got layers of paint on it and it's a pain. The major issue right now is there's a gap at the top. And this one won't close all the way either because we have a trim issue. This is hitting this. I'm in the troubleshooting phase of this project. The dry fitting is the most tedious and consuming because I'm using salvage doors. They're not with their own door jambs coming into this home. That would be a much easier method. I'm trying to be as frugal as possible. I'm not afraid of some hard work. I think at this point, I just need to take it one door, one step at a time and just troubleshoot each one since they're all so unique. Since the most annoying thing for me right now is the linen closet not being able to close. Like I can't even get out of this room because that door. So I think that's going to be step one. Then we'll get into it with the bathroom and then the others. Oh, and I have to deal with like the hardware, but I think that'll be more fun because at that point all the doors will fit. All right, let's get to it. Can you tell I'm procrastinating this morning? So I had a momentary panic about cutting the top of that linen closet door because one of the reasons that I thought that particular door would be a great one is that it had this little roller closure for a closet like that. It's at the top of the door, it's already installed, and I thought, perfect, I'll just buy the corresponding little strike plate. The little roller is right here. Just this little springy thing, the wheel. And then there's usually like a metal track, and then when you close the door it goes boop and it sits in that little track, and then when you pull the door it easily just rolls out. I think that's the style we're gonna go for. Just gonna have to drill a hole for it. That's of course where I need to make the trim. I've held this door out and in so many times. Millimeters. We're trimming millimeters off. That's it. Not much. Millimeters. Millimeters. See what I mean? It's just caked in paint and rust and it functions. It's just not in the best care. Here's the new one. Shiny, brassy, but not too brassy. I'm gonna see if this makes a difference. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you probably will have to adjust the mortise so that it completely can recess. Right now, this one, the previous one is a bit smaller, so we're gonna have to grab probably the multi-tool, make it a little bit bigger. It's time to do some lead testing, especially on the older doors, the sketchier doors, the ones I'm not so sure about. The more I think about it, I think I'm just gonna buy a new salvage door for the office closet because that one is, I think it's a no-go. I honestly don't know why I got it. Probably because I was desperate in the time. I got a piece of paper here, got my swabs. You need a little cup of water. This is so simple. The directions are right on the side, and there's even a little picture direction, so super easy to follow. Since we're doing so many doors, office closet, we got the primary bedroom, guest bedroom. Oh yeah, this room, the bathroom. I label them all, and then I'm gonna put the little swab down on the paper so I can keep track of them all. Swab it around for 2 seconds in water. Shake off any excess liquid. Rub the surface for 30 seconds. Remember, if we see a red, violet, or pink swab, that means that there's a presence of lead. No sanding, no go. Yeah, we're still mustard over here, no change. Same yellow color. The one that I'm the most curious about is that office closet door. This will be the make or break moment for her. Here goes nothing. 1001, 1002. Shake, shake, shake. We might be in the clear with this one. So far, no reaction. Yeah, I don't see anything so far. There's many layers of paint on this door. It does go all the way down to the wood grain here where the original handle set was. We're gonna test one more area inside this door. I'm always worried if it's chipping off. All right, let's try this one too. I'm really hoping there's nothing wrong with this one because honestly, of all the doors I salvaged, this one is my favorite. But if it truly is lead-based paint or stain, then it should turn pink or red fairly fast. It's like slightly turning a reddish tinty, isn't it? That's concerning. That is tough. This one's looking good. So far, no color change. And honestly, the office one, looking at it comparatively, it's like barely. No, if anything, it's just rubbing the finish off. Well, I guess the one that I was the most iffy about was truly the one that has the issue. Last one, primary bedroom. Yeah, this one's good. No change. That one is very much still yellow. I ended up going for it at the hardware store and got these bifold doors for the closet in the office. It's gonna take up a lot less space in the room when I'm opening and closing it, and it's gonna allow maybe for the desk to feel like it makes more sense in front of the window, not causing the door to like slam into it when you try to open it. Heading into the office, and I've put the doors in place. I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna put double hardware here to make it look like a cabinet that's closing. Hopefully that'll differentiate it enough from the door to the room, which is clearly a different style. It'll be better when I add the more traditional door casing too. Plus when it opens, it'll only come out this much from the wall, and then the door won't hit the desk. The bathroom door wasn't closing properly because of a gap. I got 1/4 inch thick board that's like 1.5 inches wide. I was able to pad that, and now the door fits nice and snugly. I had to expand the keyhole and the door handle hole because they were cut too small for the new hardware. From there, I was able to patch around where the hole needed to be cut for the strike plate, which is the metal part that's inside the door frame that the lat connects to. Now we're gonna see if we can close the door. Bye. After that, drilling pilot holes and putting in the door plates and lighting them up with the keyhole. To use these absolutely stunning glass door handles. That is gonna look so good. I'm getting excited. Obviously, we still have to refinish the doors, but just the dry fitting and making sure everything works with the hardware, both new and salvaged, is quite a complex situation. Look how pretty. I could use a little brasso and even further like spiff this up. You can see it's a little antiqued, but honestly, I don't mind her. Siri, we're not talking to you. Back in the office, and this time I need to use the multi-tool to adjust the mortise for the door lock apparatus. The old one, kind of like the other door, is slightly shorter, although I believe the drill for the holes and everything else is in the same place. Slight adjustment. See if we can get it in there. All right, let's see if that was enough. Oh, it wants to so badly. It's almost there. I think maybe just the sides. That's got to be it. Okay, the top is perfect. Now it's just the bitty bit on the bottom that I didn't get well enough. 10 times the charm, right? It indeed is. I'm definitely gonna have to make the keyhole. No, I'm gonna have to make both of them larger.
I woke up this morning, got me feeling brand new.
sending clues, and I'm sending gratitude back. Cause the whole world's outside, sun in my eye, a girl in my ride, head in the sky. We gon' make it if we try. Truth never lie, wings we could fly, with you by my side. This morning,
You'll see the beginnings here of what is going to become a big video on the main channel. I finally got almost all the furniture out of the room. I also have this dresser. Hi, Kelly. Oh, it looks so different in the room.
Sun's coming up like the day before.